He saved 3 starving alien children. Now the Galactic Empress wants him as her mate. The rain of red dust fell slowly over the forgotten mining moon, turning the broken ground into a silent graveyard. This moon was not on any trade map anymore, and most ships avoided it because nothing good ever happened here. But one human ship had landed anyway, carrying a single man named Aaron Hale. Aaron was not a soldier or a hero by title. He was a scavenger and rescue runner, someone who went where others would not. Humans were known for many things in the galaxy: stubbornness, courage, and strange kindness. Aaron carried all 3 as he walked through the ruined settlement. His scanner picked up weak life signs. They were small, very weak, and almost fading. Aaron frowned and followed the signal into a collapsed shelter. Inside the dark space, he found 3 alien children. They were not human. Their skin was pale blue, their eyes large and glowing softly. They belonged to the Valari race, a gentle species known for art and diplomacy. But these children were thin, shaking, and clearly starving. One of them tried to crawl away when Aaron appeared. Aaron slowly removed his helmet and sat down. Showing his human face, "I will not hurt you," he said softly. His voice echoed slightly in the broken shelter. The translator chip worked fast. The children understood his words. But fear still filled their eyes. Valari children had heard stories about humans. Stories of war, strength, and unstoppable fighters. Aaron reached into his pack and pulled out food bars and a water tube. He placed them on the ground and moved back. The smallest child crawled forward first, driven by hunger stronger than fear. Soon all 3 were eating. Their small hands shaking, Aaron watched quietly. He felt anger rising inside him, not at the children, but at the galaxy that allowed this to happen. The Valari homeworld had been destroyed months ago during a border war. Many survivors were never found after they ate. The oldest child spoke. "Our parents sent us away," she said. "They said to hide and wait for help." Her voice was weak but calm. Aaron made a decision in that moment. He would not leave them here. He activated his ship beacon and wrapped the children in thermal blankets. As he carried them back to his ship, he did not know that satellites were watching. Far beyond the mining moon, deep in the heart of the Galactic Empire, the Empress received an alert. Empress Zyra Velith, ruler of 7,000 systems, paused as the data appeared before her. Her silver eyes focused on the image of a human carrying Valari children. The court fell silent. A noble stepped forward and spoke carefully. "Your Radiance, a human has interfered. Those children are of royal Valari blood." The Empress stood slowly, her long mantle flowing behind her. "Play the full recording," she commanded. The screen showed Aaron feeding the children, protecting them from the storm. Not once did he demand payment or show fear. The Empress felt something rare: interest. Valari law was ancient and powerful. Anyone who saved royal blood without demand earned a life debt. But there was something more, a deeper bond spoken of only in legend. "The human shows strength without cruelty," the Empress said. "He shows mercy without weakness." Her voice was calm, but the court felt the shift in power. Back on the moon, Aaron's ship lifted off. Leaving dust behind, he set course for the nearest safe medical station. The children slept quietly in the cargo hold. Finally, warm and full, Aaron leaned back in his chair and sighed. He thought this was just another rescue, another small act in a large and broken galaxy. He did not know that his life had already changed. As the stars stretched into light, a royal fleet changed its course. Orders spread across the empire in seconds. "Locate the human, do not harm him. He is to be brought to the throne, and somewhere between forgotten stars and golden palaces." Fate smiled, because one human had chosen kindness, and an empress had taken notice. Aaron Hale woke to the sound of alarms humming softly through his ship. The medical scanner blinked yellow, then green, showing the 3 Valari children were stable. Relief washed over him, but it did not last long. His ship's sensors screamed again, this time louder. Multiple warp signatures appeared on the display. Not pirates, not traders. This was a fleet, a royal one. Aaron's hands tightened on the control panel. He had seen symbols like these before. The crest of the Galactic Empress herself. No scavenger wanted this kind of attention before he could jump to hyperspace. Space folded around his ship, a gravity lock snapped into place. The engines died with a dull whine. Aaron leaned back and exhaled slowly. Easy, he whispered to himself. Think. A calm female voice filled the cockpit, translated into clear English. Human vessel, do not resist. You are under protection of the galactic throne. Protection was not the word Aaron expected. Two royal cruisers moved into view, their hulls glowing with soft golden energy. They dwarfed his small ship like mountains beside a stone. A transport beam activated. Light wrapped around Aaron and the children. In seconds, they stood inside a vast chamber made of crystal and living metal. The children clung to Aaron's jacket. Frightened again, he knelt down and spoke gently. It is okay. I am here. Royal guards surrounded them, tall and armored, weapons lowered but ready. Then the room changed. Walls shifted, lights softened. And silence fell. She entered without sound, Empress Zyra Velith. Aaron had seen many aliens, but none like her. She was tall, graceful, her skin shimmering like moonlight on water. Her eyes were silver and ancient, holding the weight of centuries. Power followed her like a shadow. The children gasped. They bowed as best they could. Your radiance. The oldest whispered. Zyra raised one elegant hand. Rise, little stars, she said softly. Her voice held warmth, something rare for a ruler feared across galaxies. She looked at Aaron then, really looked at him. Not as prey, not as a subject, but as an equal presence. You are the human who saved them, she said. Aaron straightened. Yes, they were starving. A murmur spread through the court, watching from above. Zyra stepped closer, close enough that Aaron felt this strange energy around her. Do you know who they are? She asked. Children, Aaron replied without hesitation. That was enough for me. For the first time in 100 years. The Empress smiled. It was small, but it shook the room. By Valari law, Zyra announced, you are owed a life debt. You may ask for wealth, land, or command. Aaron blinked. Surprised. I do not want any of that, he said. I just want them safe. The court froze. No one refused the Empress. No one. Zyra studied him in silence. Her thoughts moved fast. Ancient instincts awakening. Human courage was known. Human kindness was rare. There is an older law, she said slowly. One spoken only when the soul recognizes strength. She turned to the court, her voice echoing like thunder. This human showed mercy without weakness. He protected royal blood without demand. He did not kneel, yet he did not challenge. Aaron felt every eye on him. The air itself seemed heavy. What does that mean? He asked carefully. Zyra faced him again. It means, she said, that the bond of choosing has awakened. A symbol appeared in the air between them. Glowing softly, ancient, powerful, alive. Gasps filled the chamber. A noble cried out, this is impossible. The bond chooses. Zyra replied calmly, not politics. Aaron took a slow breath. He had no idea what was happening, but he could feel it. A pull not of control, but of recognition. I did not come here for this, he said honestly. I am just trying to do the right thing. Zyra nodded, respect clear in her eyes. That, she said, is why it chose you. The children looked up at Aaron with hope shining in their eyes. For the first time since their world burned, they felt safe. Outside the throne chamber, fleets moved, alliances shifted, enemies listened closely. Because the Empress had made a choice, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The first shot was fired before Aaron Hale understood he was in danger. A sharp crack split the air inside the royal corridor. Golden light shattered against the wall where his head had been a second earlier. Aaron reacted on instinct. He grabbed the nearest child and twisted. Using his own body as a shield, the blast burned past his shoulder, tearing metal and crystal apart. "Down!" he shouted, his voice calm but hard. The children dropped instantly. Trusting him without question, royal guards returned fire. Energy bolts flashing like small suns, smoke filled the corridor. Alarms screamed. This was no accident. This was an assassination attempt. Aaron's heart hammered. He was unarmed, wearing no armor, yet his body moved fast. Trained by years of surviving places no law reached. "Human, this way," a guard shouted. But Aaron shook his head. "The kids first," he said. He pulled a fallen guard's shield generator from the floor. It flared to life in his hand. Old but usable, he crouched low, covering the children as more shots slammed into the barrier across the palace. Empress Zyra felt it. The bond burned hot in her chest, sharp and urgent. She rose from the council chamber, her calm breaking for the first time in decades. "Seal the palace," she commanded. "Find him back in the corridor." A shadow moved through the smoke. Not a guard, not a noble, something else. A blade of black energy cut through the shield. Aaron barely rolled aside as it struck the floor. Melting stone, the attacker stepped forward. Cloaked and silent, eyes glowing red. "Avoid assassin," Aaron muttered. He had heard stories. Killers hired by broken empires. If one was here. Someone very powerful wanted him dead. The assassin lunged faster than any normal being. Aaron shoved the children behind a fallen pillar and stood, unarmed, outmatched, but not afraid. The blade came down. Aaron caught the assassin's wrist with both hands. Skin burning, muscles screaming, he twisted hard, using weight and leverage, not strength. The assassin hissed in shock. Not expecting resistance, with a brutal move, Aaron slammed the attacker into the wall. The blade flickered and died. A guard's shot hit the assassin's chest, sending the body crashing to the floor lifeless. Silence followed, broken only by Aaron's heavy breathing. Blood ran from his shoulder, but he ignored it. He turned immediately to the children. "You okay?" he asked. They nodded, shaking but alive. The smallest one hugged his leg tightly. Moments later, the air shimmered. Empress Zyra appeared, surrounded by elite guards. Her eyes locked on Aaron, taking in the blood, the bodies, the children behind him. "You were attacked because of me," she said quietly. "It is my war now." Aaron met her gaze. "Steady and unbowed, then it is ours," he replied. The words hit harder than any weapon. The guards felt it. The bond flared bright, visible now as a faint light between them. Zyra stepped closer, placing a hand over Aaron's wounded shoulder. Healing energy flowed, sealing flesh and calming pain. "Humans fight to protect," she said softly. "Valari rule to endure." She looked into his eyes. "Searching, you could walk away," she said. "I would see the children safe." Aaron shook his head slowly. "If I walk away," he said, "they will come again, and next time. They will not miss." The Empress straightened, power settling around her like armor. "Then stand with me," she said. "Not as a subject, not as a weapon." She held out her hand as my chosen outside the palace. Enemy fleets moved in the dark. Whispers spread through the stars. The Empress had bonded with a human, and the human had survived a void assassin with bare hands. Fear and hope raced across the galaxy together, because humanity had done what it always did best. It stood between innocence and extinction. The war did not begin with a roar. It began with silence across the galaxy. Enemy fleets powered down their weapons and waited, watching the throne world. They wanted to see if the rumors were true, inside the war chamber. Holograms of star systems floated like ghosts. Red markers spread fast. 3 hostile empires, 1 hidden syndicate, and a dozen mercenary clans had formed an alliance. All because of one human. Aaron Hale stood at the center of the room. Surrounded by admirals and ancient commanders, he was the only one without armor, without rank, yet every eye turned to him. "They think we will fight like them," Aaron said calmly. "Big fleets, big guns. Slow moves. That is not how humans survive. Zyra watched him closely. She had ruled through fear and balance for centuries. But this was different. This was human war thinking. We do not hit their fleets first, Aaron continued. We hit their belief, we make them afraid to move. The commanders murmured in confusion. Aaron activated the display. Dozens of small human ships appeared. Old, fast, and barely armed. These are not warships, an admiral said. They are, Aaron replied. They just do not look like it when the enemy alliance finally advanced. They found nothing. No grand defense line. No massive armada, only empty space. Then the attacks began. Human ships struck supply lines, vanished into micro-jumps. Communication hubs went dark. Fuel depots exploded without warning. The enemy fired at shadows, chased ghosts. Fear spread faster than any virus on the throne world. The children watched the stars from a safe balcony. They saw flashes of light far away. Aaron visited them between briefings. You are safe, he told them every time. The final battle came not at the throne world, but at the enemy alliance capital, a place they believed untouchable. Human and imperial forces arrived together, not in rage, but in certainty. The enemy commanders demanded surrender terms. Zyra stepped forward, her presence filling the void. But she did not speak. Aaron did. This war ends now, he said. You tried to kill children. You tried to rule through hunger and fear. He looked at the enemy leaders without hate. Humans do not forgive that. The enemy fleets powered down. One by one, not because of weapons, but because they understood something too late. Humanity did not fight to conquer, it fought to protect after the war. The galaxy changed, borders softened, old laws were rewritten. In a quiet ceremony beneath living stars, Zyra stood beside Aaron. No crown, no throne, only truth. By choice, she said, not by law. Aaron took her hand. By standing together, he replied. The children laughed nearby. No longer afraid, their future bright again. Stories spread across the stars of a human who fed the hungry, who stood unarmed before assassins, who outhought empires, and of an empress who chose not power, but partnership. In time, historians would name this era not after a war, but after a decision. The day humanity proved its greatest weapon was not strength, but heart.